So I'm hoping it's going to be quite an interesting journey. The plan is to build a retrieval-based chatbot from the ground up. I'll walk you through the plan. This document I had shared, but I'll go through it. Today is just more of brainstorming session where we just introduce ourselves, a bit of our background and our expectations. We haven't chatted ever since some of you guys filled the form to learn together. So today's session is intro, what you do, what you expect out of this, and some of your strengths. That because it's going to be a teamwork. We will probably split ourselves into groups depending on what comes on the during the discussions, or we could just have one project and take it to the end as a class, or we could allow one project for learning, and then individuals now could think through their thought process on the kind of chatbot they want to build and follow through the tutorial to the end. And for whatever reasons, one of those three we could adopt. But before I proceed, I'll walk through the participants as usual. And Eric, I don't know why you should change your name if you want to come last. Letter E comes at the top. So I'll use alphabetical. I'll just call your name and then give a bit, you will give your intro, give a bit of your background in terms of machine learning, what's your level, what you think as your level, and then your expectation out of this. So Eric, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Ayub. Yeah, I think I'll have to change my name to just delete everything and just remain with my second name without the first N. That will guarantee me to be always last. Yeah, my name is Eric Zivo. Currently, I'm monitoring and evaluation lead with Metis. That is Metis. It's in Nairobi. For those who are not in Nairobi, um, my my expertise level probably, I don't know, like I could say I'm intermediary and also a beginner, because for NLP I'll say I know a bit of some few things, but I can call myself a beginner. So I'm still learning. I'm still there learning. Yeah. Is there anything else I was to say?
Your expectation?
Oh yeah, my expectation is to get something I can chat with when I'm bored.
Cool stuff, Eric. We'll go to Josephat. Josephat, I think you joined when we had just started. So the drill is you just introduce yourself, your level of expertise in terms of machine learning, and what you expect out of this journey we are starting today.
Hello.
Hi, Josephat. Did we lose you, Josephat? Can't hear you. Okay. While we wait for Josephat, I think we can go to Ken.
Hi, Ayub. Hi, everyone. My name is Kennedy Njoroge. This is my first time to join the Ayub hands-on plus coaching online meetups. So I am honored to be among one of you. So incidentally, I've worked with Ayub at some point in the past. So it's good that our minds are meeting once again. With regard to data science, I'd say I'm a beginner, but more of headed towards intermediate level. I have academic knowledge, so to say, in exploration, visualization, and I've participated in some few hackathons so as to understand modeling, but that was more of computer vision. in NLP, just like I think it's Eric who said, I know some few concepts, but I haven't done projects, so to say. So that's why I volunteer to join this stream. My expectation is, as the title says, to get my hands dirty. And I know that will be the fastest way of learning, as Robert normally preaches from the pulpit. The pulpit. So, and I also appreciate coming from past experience that there are more customers out there who needs customer service than there can be people to support them. And this ranges from high-end companies to low-end SMEs who are going online. So there's opportunity to bridge the gap by introducing chatbots in customer service for customer support. So I think there's money at the end of the tunnel.
Nice one. I was waiting for the time you're going to leave a punchline. Ken, you're being very modest in your level, but I'll push you. I'll side chat you. Ken, we've worked with Ken. You guys are very fortunate to have amongst us someone who's pretty much experienced. He's my senior, and definitely because we are approaching this as a team, then we are definitely going to learn from each other, and the contribution are very, very important. So, karibu sana Ken, and I'm really, really happy for you to have you here because
Thank you.
with your leadership, I know we will see to the end of it. Okay.
Hope so. Thank you.
Okay, karibu sana. So, we had not covered. We had not. Josephat, yes, Josephat, are you sorted?
Yes. But
Okay.
I think I was almost done.
We didn't hear anything you said, so you might want
Really?
to repeat. Yes.
Okay. Hello, guys. I'm Josephat. Currently doing web development, mostly self-taught, and I'm passionate about AI, machine learning. So there are a couple of projects I'm doing basically on image annotation. So they relate with machine learning. I mean, they relate with machine learning, and I'm a beginner. And I'm ready to learn. My expectation is to gain more knowledge and to apply in my future. Thank you.
Good stuff, Josephat. Okay. As guys join, the letters keep shifting. So we are on Macrin. Macrin, would you mind? So the drill is you just introduce yourself. You tell us a bit of your background in terms of level of expertise in machine learning and your expectations. Just those three things. Over to you, Macrin.
Hello,
Hi.
I'm Macrin. I'm a beginner in machine learning. I expect to know more about smart chatbots.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's very straight. You know what scares people is normally a very, very specific goal. If the goal is fuzzy or it's gray, you can always be sure that you'll be safe, because at the end of the delivery, you'd say you are not so specific. But Macrin has been very, very specific. So we are at a tight spot. At the end of this, we will ask ourselves, is our bot smart? Good stuff, Macrin. Karibu sana. Now the next person, I think it's Eunice.
Oh, hi guys.
Hi, Eunice.
Thank you so much, Ayub. I've just joined. I think like a minute ago, so I didn't know what was going on.
Okay. So the drill is you just introduce yourself. Tell everyone a bit of your background in terms of level of expertise, and then your expectations out of this project we are starting today.
All right. Thank you so much. So, hi guys. My name is Eunice Mutahi, and I am an expert. I'm an expert in data management. So, I'm actually learning NLP, and we are doing this project together. And my expectation is at the end of it all, we'll be able to interact with the chatbot and maybe train other people on how we started from ground up, give them all the challenges that we faced, and eventually have a successful, win at the end, all of us to win at the end. Yeah, that's my expectation.
Perfect, Eunice. Karibu sana. Yeah, I can see Eric there on a lighter note saying when you started and you're saying I'm an expert in, so Eric was wondering, are you going to say expert in ML before you mentioned that you're expert in data management? But we are fortunate to have experts because data science by and large it's more on data. So definitely you guys can feel that there is a bit of contribution from everyone, including the beginners who are putting us to task that at the end of this session, they need to have understood and get a smart chatbot at the end of it. So everyone is going to be at pressure to make sure that we deliver. All right, karibu sana Eunice. So we go to David Mombali.
Hello. David Mombali, I'm just a learner of data analytics, machine learning, and AI. So I'm excited to be part of this community. And yeah, it's just about learning and teaching others and giving back. Yeah.
Good stuff, David. Yeah, David, feel at home. I've known David from Strathmore. There are a couple of projects he's doing on Strathmore. So, guys, the reason why this introduction is important is for you guys to feel at home and you can feel that you're going to definitely learn as a team. Learning as an individual is very, very different from learning as a team. And that is the main purpose of this meetup project. Okay, Phil, karibu sana Devi. Uluma, Duncan, you just joined. So the drill is introduce yourself, a bit of your background in terms of expertise level in machine learning and what you expect out of this project.
Okay, hi guys. I'm Dan Uloma. I'm a software developer and still learning machine learning. And on this project, I expect to, by the end of it, to have learned a bit about natural language processing and also to have a working chatbot on the same.
Nice. Good stuff, Dan. And thanks for joining us. I'll tell you a story about Dan Badai. What's it to for next? Nelly, I think you're next.
Hi everyone, my name is Nelly. I can say I am here to learn about NLP. By the end of this all, I hope to build something from scratch, similarly to what we will have learned. And yeah, I think I'm a person of few words. Thank you.
Karibu sana Nelly. By then, Nelly is also struggling with Django, so the models you'll be building will definitely be exposed using Django, so it's all encompassed. Karibu sana Nelly. Paul.
Thank you.
Paul, we are over to you.
Hello everyone. My name is Paul Dirango, and I love everything about machine learning, and very excited to be part of this project. So what I will say that I can say that I'm a beginner in NLP, and what I'm looking forward at the end of this is to see a project being done from scratch to deployment, and that's really something fun to look forward to.
Karibu sana, Paul. Feel at home. We'll go to Sharon Kirwa.
Hi everyone. You can hear me?
Yes, Sharon.
Oh, okay, so my name is Sharon Kiro. I currently I run a AI-based startup with some guys. In regards to my expertise, thanks to A4Ayub beginner and intermediate, I can say I'm a bit comfortable with machine learning. Yeah, he taught us really well. And what I'm expecting, I know the theoretical bit of NLP, and as a result of the first classes we had of NLP, and as someone has said, I'm looking forward to get my hands dirty and to work in a team, because I've tried to work on my own, especially in learning Django, and it's not easy to do it alone. So yeah, I'm looking forward to work in a team setting. Yeah, thank you.
Karibu sana, thanks Sharon. That's good feedback, unaniambia. I'm encouraged.
Yeah, you're a good teacher.
Yeah, thank you. Sharon and a couple of guys started way back, including Duncan Oluma, Eric Nzivo. They started with beginner, and then we went just before Corona, and I'm glad to see that we are still learning together, and the skills are getting better. Now she's running a startup, and I'm hoping that at the end of this session, her startup would have self-service chatbots. Okay, Timothy Agevi, over to you.
Yes. We've had Timothy Agevi. My level, I can say I'm a beginner. It's few knowledge due to the previous classes we have had. So what I'm expecting is now to get my hands dirty, put that skill into practice, so that you can start one from scratch, and by the end of it, I can say that I can build a retrieval-based chat box. Yeah.
Good stuff, Timo. Timo and most of the guys I've interacted with, even in previous session, Timo is very pushy. So if you need guys to really drive the agenda or to follow through people, Timo is one of the guys who will not back down. And that is something I've always encouraged, for you to be, quote unquote, very stubborn, because it's your time and you want to get value out of your time. So you push with asking questions and doing a lot of research, meeting people of different skill sets, strengths, and capabilities in a group like this one. They will not come to you. You have to go to them. You reach out to them and ask. So that is the kind of thing I want us to adopt from the beginning. So we need to feel free as one family with one common objective, to deliver a chatbot that actually can give value to any business. And at the end of the day, it's the value you deliver to the business within what time. So if you take 1 year to deliver value to the business, and your competition is taking 6 months, you're already working off. So to the business, those are some of the things that are very, very important. So with a timeline of 3 months, we really have to put a lot of pressure to make sure that we do not extend that 3 months. It might look longer, but remember, it's one day that we are meeting together. But even within our spaces, we need to create time and push each other and remind each other what needs to be done. When you get stuck, that is the only way we are going to meet this this timeline of 3 months. Besides learning, I know there is one more. Rose, before I continue, Rose, please introduce yourself. The drill is you introduce yourself, and then you you just mentioned a brief background of your machine learning experience, what level you are in, and what your expectations.
Uh, Thank you, Ayub. My name is Rose Delilah Gesicho. My background is in, now I can say my background is in data science. I did data science in Moringa School. I'm passionate about natural language processing, and what I'm looking forward to is to build a retrieval-based chatbot. It's something I started learning in June, but along the way, I think my momentum stopped, but I'm back at it until I learn it. When I'll stop, I will just continue learning. In short, even if I am a bit, sometimes I get a bit discouraged, but I'm back again. Yeah.
That happens a lot to everyone. During this journey, more than once, some people feel like dropping out. Some people feel like, no, this is not for me. They go try other things, they come back. So it's normal. And ever since I started teaching or sharing the knowledge that I have, regardless of how little it is, I've seen people get interested. I've seen people drop, and it's normal. People pick different paths. So what you have is normal, and consistency is the key, and the driving factor should always be the bullseye, the objective, the goal that you're looking out for. All right. Just before Rose, I was talking about what really matters to businesses. What really matters to business is the value you give and within what time frame. And we have a time frame of 3 months to deliver. Besides delivering a chatbot, a retrieval-based chatbot as a team, there are so many benefits in working in this kind of environment. First of all, your team, you'll have worked in a team of people you hardly know, and your participation and contribution, you will probably develop soft skills. You'll probably learn a bit about stubborn people like myself, rude, and that is the normal thing in a team setup. So that is one value. So you'll also come across people who are just quiet, and how do we make sure that these quiet people release the energy in them? You know, if you ever want to be a leader, this is your opportunity. If you want to really work in a team and contribute, this is the opportunity outside your workspace. For one reason or another, you might not get this opportunity in your workspace, but there is an opportunity that you can actually argue out in an interview, or even when you're putting up a case. Yeah. So that is another benefit. And another one final benefit is learning and studying as a team. It is different to go through theory alone, go through code alone, because data science and machine learning is very, very expansive and very, very huge. So one person would be very, very proficient and very, very good in one line of algorithm or problem resolving, like maybe it could be fraud. Another person could be very, very important, very, very good in other prediction, like forecasting. Other people in NLP. So imagine these people coming in together and learning. And one core thing about AI, machine learning, there is a fundamental that you must acquire. And there's a fundamental that everything else operates in, and that is statistics. So if all these things and are standard across all algorithms, because all algorithms are built on those decisions, statistics and maths. So without even scaring or even thinking of any mathematical formula, because you're not going to do those. As guys, you want a chatbot that will answer our questions. Iso dafu, iso maths, iso statistics, we will learn as we move forward. So it is very, very possible. So what I'm trying to say is, in a setup like this one, the third value that you learn besides the first two that I've mentioned is you're learning from people who are willing to go research, people who know stuff and they can contribute. So I welcome you all, guys, and feel at home. Do not start a journey that you know very well you're not going to finish. Purpose to finish this journey. Purpose to ask questions. Purpose to commit and do research, contribute to the team. If you know something that you feel everyone else needs to know, do not keep quiet with it, because someone else will say something that will be of value to you. And if you know something that will not be of value to some other people, you won't be a team player. All right. So karibuni sana. There is one more person who joined, Stephanie. But Stephanie, I'll let you introduce yourself towards the when we are taking a break. And I want to dive through the slides. I shared this in the WhatsApp group. If you joined this session and you're not in the WhatsApp group, maybe after the meeting you can let me know. We add you to the WhatsApp group. Okay. Can you guys see? Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Oh, okay, perfect, perfect. So I had shared this document earlier. This is like now the roadmap, what we are planning to do. And every single Wednesday we'll have a specific objective. Today's session was actually to be facilitated by Brian, though because of his work, he wasn't able to make it. He sent his apologies. He said he will be joining us a bit later. Though his work, I'll show you his work, and it's going to help in terms of extracting data from Twitter. And there are other people who've also contributed to this by providing code. We have Eric Nzivo, who's provided a Jupyter code of extracting tweets from Twitter, and also Duncan Oluma, who also has a repo, a GitHub repo with code. So the first thing we did was to extract data from Twitter, and that would form the basis of our starting point. We've never seen this data, and we don't even know the kind of chatbot is going to tell us or it's going to answer. All we know is from whatever conversation we get from Twitter, can we build something that would actually respond to people outside there? And I have some ideas on the direction you're going to take. I'll bring that. So a quick view of the roadmap ahead. Day one, which is today, is probably just introduce the problem statement, get to see the data, and then share with their permission of the owners of the code. I share that Jupyter notebook so that you guys can extract code from Twitter for those people who don't have code. And then brainstorm on some of the approaches we could adopt as a team, and just get ideas on how we can form a base on the specifics of what we want our chatbot to do. We shouldn't be ambitious. I've always learned one thing, that if you really want to grow and you want to grow fast, just look for one smallest thing you can actually achieve, and try and work towards achieving it. When you achieve it, look for the next, and then start looking for a bit more difficult things to achieve. So you start with the simplest so that you achieve, because it gives you the impetus. It gives you a lot of encouragement to keep on doing what you're supposed to do. So that is what we will explore. It's going to be a brainstorming session, and we will take notes, and we will derive action points and plan ahead. So day two will be data cleaning and EDA. I will probably combine these two because it's a bit expensive. So day two will be data cleaning and EDA, and then in place of day three, we will do something called topic modeling just before we start our modeling. So data cleaning is basically, we've not seen this data, we will have to prepare it, discuss on how to remove data and prepare it for EDA. EDA is exploratory data analysis. NLP also has this. exploratory data analysis for those who are just beginners and for our machine for this class. This look at it like the stage where you just want to look at your data and see some interpretable insights using visualization, like visualization techniques. You will probably plot one or two charts to communicate something significant that you can pick from the data. For example, which are the most occurring verbatims in any conversation? If we choose to do sentiment analysis, what out of the entire data set are most people happy or are most people sad? So these are some of the things that you can actually visualize and see pictorially and communicate something from your data. Yeah. And then after that, I'm going to slide in something called topic modeling. The way I would want to look at topic modeling is, or basically introduce topic modeling at this section is, look at it like putting every sentence or every tweet into context. What is that tweet about? And trying to figure out which is the most appropriate subject, yeah, for that tweet. So for instance, if a tweet is talking about moving houses, the subject could be real estate, the subject could be moving, depending on the presence of specific words in those tweets, okay? So we will do topic modeling with the intention and objective of that topic modeling is to try and create several classes of those topics, yeah, of those tweets. So if we see a conversation is about, say, a certain company, we are hoping to use topic modeling to derive topics and label those tweets. Yeah. So when we derive and label those tweets, so there is a tweet for this company, another one for this company, another one for this, and then we go further and say this company, it is a sales query, it is a sales complaint, and then this sales complaint, this is the most appropriate response. So you see, we are building up a case exactly from a tweet. So we are building up how do we extract some of this information and prepare our bot to respond. Because you as a human being, you read a tweet, you will know how to respond. So basically, what are those things that are making you respond in the way you respond? Yeah, is it about a company? Is it if someone says some bad stuff about a company, how do you respond then? Okay, and then after that, then we will now do a bit more of further pre-processing and start our modeling. So with NLP, there are quite a number of modeling techniques, and each one of them has advantages and disadvantages, but they build up on each other. So we will cover each of those modeling techniques. We will start with bag of words modeling technique, get to understand what it is, what are the pros, what are the cons, why would you choose it as compared to the other one. And then we will shift to TF-IDF, get to understand what it is, how it's used, its significance, and then we will move to what? To VEC, and then we will do a CNN, we will do a convolutional neural network, we will build a convolutional neural network to try and help us in classifying those messages as we plan to do a retrieval-based chatbot. And then after that, we will package one of the models in readiness for deployment. Packaging is now creating, for those guys who are Zinjanthropers like myself, I know Ken is amongst that list. Wale watu wa floppy disk, ama CD drive. Nowadays, the millennials wako na flash disk, wako na YouTube kwa simu, kila kitu ni simu. So packaging one of the models is basically you've created your software, you you're burning it into a CD, you're ready to go and install it into your laptop. So in this case, it's called a pickle file. So we'll look at the process of generating a pickle file. So we are basically bundling our model and readiness to start sending to it messages. So when we send to a message, it will reply. It will reply based on how we have trained it, okay? And even before we do this, we will we'll be looking at, I had a line of thought there, it will disappear, but I'm sure it's going to come back. All right, let me move to the next one. Test modeling from, we will now test it from a site that actually every other person who's interested to see what this team has done, they can actually go and visit that site. And since we will deploy this pickle file in a REST API, any other person who wants to plug in from either their website or an Android app, Josephat here is doing web development, and I'm so sure Sharon is probably doing something else. She mentioned Django. Anyone else who would want to plug in and interact with that chatbot on the whatever project they're doing can now immediately get access to it and use it. So this opens up a lot of personal employment, because the moment you open up your model to REST API, you can start building requests to that REST API. Now it's now upon you as the engineer who built it to think of commercials. Ken had mentioned that there is money at the end of the tunnel. That is exactly what he must have meant. After this, how do you commercialize it and make your life better? Easy bundles unatumia kusoma. Can someone else pay you for the bundles you used while reading and doing all that research? So that's the end game. And then after testing, I will mobilize together with you guys. We will need to mobilize a demo day where we will put ourselves to challenge, to illustrate how the journey was and demo our projects, depending on the approach that we pick. And speaking about the approach, I had mentioned 3 approaches. We pick one project as a class and do it together to the end. The second approach is we pick one project as a class for teaching purposes, and then but for projects, you are free to think of your own problem, and then since you have the scrapper, there is someone who has not muted. I'll ask you to kindly mute. Let me see. All right, thank you. So since we are all different and we all have different passion. Some people would want to build chatbots for a hair salon. Some people would want to build a chatbot for entertainment, whatever it is. So the second approach would be, we use one project to learn, and then you as an individual or a group of people, you can come up and scrap the information you want, implement your line of thought. So as we teach ourselves, you're implementing your own project, but we are all discussing the same in the class. That is the second approach. All right. So during the demo day, we all mobilize ourselves and encourage people to attend a meetup through Africa Tech Startups Ecosystem Nairobi. So it will be virtual because of Corona. And then we will need to illustrate what we have done so far and give people a real platform they can actually interact with what we have done. So that is the roadmap. Nimeongea sana, it's in my nature to just talk and talk and talk. And what I've been talking about is followed on those slides. EDA, modeling, bag of words. I had shared these slides earlier on using CNN, how you package it, what we will be doing to package it, understanding what REST API is, integration deployment of the model to Chatbot.com, and then tests, cases, how the tests are done, and then demo day, right? So that slide is where I'm just going to record the people who are attending. The reason why I'm doing this, it's because I'm also keen to see the results of this output from the onset. And there's nothing that comes when there is, I think to some level, I am forced to be a bit strict. So because of the value that we want to get out of this. So attendance is, I want to say, a must, at least for all the days. And I'll be doing tracking. I'll be making phone calls. I'll be doing a lot because I personally want to see if this is going to work and what we can come out with at the end of the day. So I'm not taking it a joke. I don't want to waste your time by making you attend something that you won't see value at the end of the day. And I need to do all it takes to in my part to make sure that you guys have at least the resources that you need and the networking that you need. And because of that, I'll be a bit strict and I'll be reaching out to individuals. And I would say in Sharon and the other guys who attended my classes, I always give some assignments and some work, practicals. So it's not going to change. The same thing is going to happen. So there is no other way than that. If you have another way that we can actually do it without that level of strictness, you're free to suggest. Okay. All right. So we are finally on the edge. Before I proceed, is there anyone who has anything to say? Question? The guys who joined during the meeting, when the meeting had already started. Is there anyone? Okay. So what I'll do, excuse me, I'll allow the other guys to introduce themselves. This is going to be the second part. Today's session is going to be slightly shorter, but I hope we will stick within the time because I know it's from 8 p.m. Some people want to do other things. So what I'll do is quickly, for those guys who had not introduced themselves, I'll give you a chance to introduce yourself. And then we will go to a brief session of just brainstorming after I've given you an idea of the kind of chatbots that we can actually build. And then you guys can pick and we could probably vote on chat. And then we pick which one we move with. So I'll just mention the name. The drill for those guys who joined is you just introduce yourself, say a little bit of your background in terms of expertise, and then what you expect. We had reached at Stephanie. Over to you.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie Wanjiru. I'm in my 4th year taking math and computer science. I've done some projects in data science. I'm interested in that field. I've also done some few small projects in NLP. So I want to expand my knowledge, and once I saw this, I thought it'd be a good idea to join and see what you guys are doing. Yeah.
Awesome, Stephanie. Karibu sana and feel at home. The next one is Silas Macharia.
Hi everybody, my name is Silas Macharia. A cake individual, I think the most archaic. Trying to get back into programming and learning through Python. I work at IBM, which sounds very funny that I'm coming to this to learn, but I think I needed to look at it from a very different approach of pose from a tool-based scenario that makes things very simple. So I wanted to see it from, for lack of a better word, down and dirty scenario. Yeah.
Thank you, Silas. Earlier on, I had mentioned about people who are really stubborn. Silas is amongst those people. So if you want a class prefect, class rep, it's either Timothy I gave you or Silas. Na wengine pia bado nitasema. Thanks, Silas. Karibu sana. We go to aya, kuna watu wanajificha. Let me expand this. All right. I think those are the only ones. Okay. I think they are the only ones. Okay, perfect. Now, I'm definitely going to show you guys even the notebook. We will quickly skim through the notebook. The notebook is going to be made available, and I'm also going to share the links for a step-by-step guide on how to use Tweepy or one of those Twitter scrapping tools. So you follow and you scrap your own data depending on the approach that we adopt. Okay. Before I come to the action items, then this is the proposal. The proposal I have for you guys is what we all agree is we are building a customer care chatbot. But what we are yet to agree is what will this chatbot be serving? It's when you're building a chatbot, you need to identify a specific domain. It is very difficult to build a chatbot that answers everything. Yeah, like Siri and other stuff. It's a bit very, very difficult. So you select a domain and you build a chatbot for that. And examples would be self-service tasks. For example, you identify a company and you say, there is absolutely no reason for a customer to make a phone call to the office to ask about something that is in the website. And there is absolutely no reason. So how do we get the chatbot to learn everything that is in a company's website? Step one would be probably to scrap that data and analyze it and arrange it. The same journey we are going to follow through. If that is something of interest, you have a company or you're thinking of doing that as a company or surprising your prospective employer, just scrapping their website with them not knowing and building and illustrating this on demo day, it is up to you. It's your own line of thought. And if you can work with other people, I strongly propose not to work alone. We either work as a class or we work as groups of maybe 3 or 4. That is one example. Another example is flight booking. A situation where it doesn't have to be flight, it's appointment booking. It could be a doctor's appointment, it could be flight booking, it could be what do you call this express train of ours? ESDR. It had a funny name, local name. It could be express train booking, any booking for self-service. Now that COVID, there is no lockdown, it could be a bus company booking and reservations. And then what I was going to propose we do as a class is Twitter job hunter. We do a chatbot that would link to tweets on real time and give you answers. So for instance, at the back of the tweet of the bot, we have tweets streaming in. So if you go to Twitter, someone who wants an employee would tweet, "I'm looking for this kind of person." Yeah. And if you're not following this person, you're most likely not to get that tweet. And that is how job inaweza kupita. And someone who is looking for a job would also send a message. So if you're an employer, you're most likely not to get that message. Can we build a bot that helps people in getting this kind of notification? You ask them, I'm a data scientist. Do you have any technical jobs around? And then the bot will be like, okay, this guy on this date posted this kind of job. Are you interested? Yes, I am. And then the tweet goes and tags this other guy. Hey, dude, I found someone who can do the job. Do you want to engage him? This is the Twitter handle. And the job has done, and the bot has done his job. This will be interesting because COVID, so many people have lost their jobs. COVID, there is a lot of confusion. So helping people while they're staying at home to look for jobs without risking would be something interesting to so many people. So that is what I was proposing we focus on. But it doesn't restrict you from thinking of your own problem statement and seeing it to the end. I've mentioned company FAQs, right? The data sets, we have data sets in Kaggle. We can actually go and explore that. You can explore. I've shared links in this slide. I've shared links for Kaggle dataset that has something to do with customer support. Spend time and go through those links as well, and using the tools that I will share, try and scrape some data in readiness for our hands to get dirty. So you will definitely learn how to scrap the data based on the notebook that I will share as well. And courtesy of Eric Nzivo, Duncan Oluma, and Brian Che, they're the ones who have provided those code. None of those is my code. So all of them are members of this team. So that is how we operate. Then the approach you're going to take, I've already mentioned. You scrap the data. You think of your own problem statements along chatbot, or your domain rather. The problem statement is the same, but the domain is what we are a bit flexible. Assignment. Today, as you can see, I think the assignment today is Wednesday, and I would suggest that every Monday be the day that the assignments are submitted, so you can get 2 or 3 hours over the weekend to run through the assignment and submit. The beauty of this is submitting this assignment is we have you see, you as an individual student is learning something, and another student is also learning something. Yeah. Without the two of you talking, you wouldn't know what the other person has learned. But if we have a consolidated effort where after the submission, I pick this and illustrate to everyone benefits. Yeah. So if by Monday we submit all assignments, I consolidate, I'm given time to consolidate maybe on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, the assignments will definitely have learnings. I will start from those learnings. It really helped us when we generated our own data set, when we are learning foundations to machine learning. We generated our own data set, and it was very helpful in data cleaning process. The students who are attending that class were really, really appreciative of that approach. So it worked for them, it will work for you guys. So that is the approach. Now, wow. You know, there is one funny thing about, ever since I started teaching on using Zoom, you don't see your students, you don't see facial expression. Labda Ken sahi anapika githeri, hata anisikii. Hakuna hata viti zinavurutwa. As in, they
can hear you.
Unaniona?
Eric, sasa Sanders nakuona. Sanders nakuona. So it's weird. Yeah, it's a bit different from a class setup where you actually see facial expression, but it's hope and trust that we are all together. Yeah. All right. Having said that, I want us kindly to do one thing. Huh? We have FAQs for a company. Yeah. We have flight booking, and we have Twitter job hunter, and any other, like any other. So we have 4 options. Option 1, company FAQ. Option 2, flight booking. Option 3, Twitter job hunter. And then option 4, any other. Any other is now, we will now reach out and get to listen to what you have in mind. I would want us to pick a domain that we will move forward with. So in chat, please just tell me which one you think, which one would you vote for we adopt as a class. Just take like 5 minutes. Let's think through it during this break, like around 5 minutes. Think through
Can
it.
you actually just type it here? So number 1 was what?
Number 1, I type it on chat. Eh? Okay, yeah. Let me
So
type it on chat.
because nobody will remember what number
Remember,
4 is.
okay, all right. So number 1 is company FAQs. Number 2 is right. Okay. Number 3 is Twitter. I hope that's the spelling of Twitter. Inanichanganyisha sana hii Twitter. Ni Twitter E, Twitter I.
1 I.
Okay. Job hunter.
I don't want to say the next
And
one.
then
The
4.
ladies in the room.
And then 4 is any other. Please. It's kind. Okay, so let's take the next 5 minutes. Let's take the next 10 minutes. We take a break for 10 minutes. Think through any of those and then submit. When we come back, we will all pick one that has the highest votes. If yours was not picked, the learning is the same. We will expect full cooperation from you and full dedication to the project and full participation. Sawa sawa. We are 16 people. No one should drop the call. No one should leave. No. But you're allowed to just think through and share in the chat what you feel we should adopt. So it's now 19:02. Let's reconvene at 19:12. Sawa. Okay, guys. I think we can proceed because the notebook is slightly long. I've gotten one feedback, guys. Posts. Thank you, guys. Keep them coming. I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 guys so far. 6 guys, we are 17. So if we can get like around maybe 14 responses, that would be good. As guys are adding, I know there are some guys who just joined. David, Daudi. Oh, Daudi, you got a response. We get 5 or 4 more responses, and then we call. We make the call. Anyone who has not responded? Please keep them coming. Three more. 2 more.
Come, go with Nathan.
Sorry? Silas, did you say something? Two more. I'll look for 2 people who have not. Eunice, have you placed your thought on chat? Oh, she's going to attend for something. She's not yet back. Okay, let me see. Was not. Okay. I guess we will go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll go with 12. 12 against 17 is not bad. So out of the 12, there is one that has come. Okay. There is one that has come. Oh, okay. Eunice, it's okay. You can place your thought. We are about to make a call. So you're the only one you're waiting for, and then we make a call. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 14 against 17. So out of the 17 guys, 3 have not responded. Maybe they are not yet back from the class. And out of the 14, 1 has mentioned flight booking. 2 people have mentioned company FAQs. Allow me to read what Duncan has said. I agree with Macrin. The target audience for flight booking is rather small. It won't apply to as many people. Twitter Job Hunter is great, but won't expose us to a lot of machine learning techniques and algorithms. Company FAQs will have a wide usage since there are many companies, and also we all consume products from at least a few companies, e.g. telcos. Okay, that's the feedback for Duncan, and he's is for the opinion we do a company FAQ. Together with Macrin. Macrin also proposed company FAQ. Her reason is considering that most companies have a problem with communication. Building a company board will expose us more because it will require a lot of AI. And then the rest of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 guys have proposed Twitter Job Hunter. And I think Twitter Job Hunter carries the day. The learnings for Twitter Job Hunter by no means does it not apply for company FAQs. Yeah. So if the 2 concerns raised by Dan and Macrin, Dan has raised about exposure to algorithms. The use and implementation of algorithm, I would say it is, the limit is in our own thinking. Of course, we will be guided, but this kind of problem will expose us to both classical algorithms, like now basic algorithms for classification, and it will also expose us to neural networks. So the same problem. We'll have quite a range of algorithms within which we can play with. Talk about SVM, all those algorithms, we'll cover them. Because largely this intro is going to be a classification problem, and then we'll venture into neural nets, still classification, but we will learn a lot of NLP techniques in the process. So that concern is addressed, even with, it will be addressed even with the problem that we have picked, Twitter Job Hunter. And then Macrin's concern was, it's absolutely true that companies need this. Twitter, compared to Twitter Job Hunter, companies, if you misrepresent if the chatbot gives an incorrect answer, we might not be in a position to defend our case as compared to when it's Twitter job hunting. It's a free space. So the level of accuracy required in a company chatbot at this particular moment is more high, and it is controlled. So because of that, as a learning, I would propose we go with something low hanging like Twitter, as proposed by most people. We learn the very, very basics. And after the delivery of this model, definitely everyone would want to know, how else can you help us do this bot? How else, how can we move forward from this? That would be the conversation, because you've illustrated and articulated that, 1, you have the skills, and 2, you've actually done it, and you've done it in a team. So you're a team player, and given this task, you will definitely have contribution. So I think this one carries the day. And Twitter Job Hunter it is, okay? So the next slide shows the URLs where we will scrap data. The tutorial, we have two tutorials here. The first one is towards data science URL, and the second one is Real Python Twitter bot. This Real Python, it gives you a step-by-step guide on how to use Twitter API and how to connect it. It's completely step-by-step. And the towards data science, it's also step-by-step on how you can now retrieve using the TWP API. So following these steps on Jupyter Notebook, I'll show you the Jupyter Notebooks. Following these steps, you shouldn't be it will be easy for you to achieve this. Almost everything has been done. So it's just copy pasting and following through and adding comments. So if you want to learn how to customize those Twitter API to retrieve specific handles, you can play around with that and pull data and be ready to play around. Nothing is preventing you. The second one is for Kaggle dataset. This one is customer support, a list of tweets and their replies. That can be used as well. And then there is a Twint library. This is courtesy of Duncan Oluma. There's a Twint library in his GitHub repo. That link is there. You can access it. There's a library for scrapping Twitter shared by Brian Chen. And then we have two links that have Twitter datasets already existing, okay? But at the beginning of this class, I wanted us to, because nobody knows any of these datasets if we've used or not, yeah? So maybe we have added advantage in terms of skills. So this is a class we are dipping ourselves. No one has seen this data and no one will know what problem it has. So it's completely green. And this is how the real world is. The data is messed up. It's not like what is in Kaggle. So these other links are for your resources. It's good we've come to a consensus. We're going to use Twitter to pull tweets from Twitter. Okay, let me just share again. I think let me share. Can you guys see?
Yes.
Perfect. So this notebook is one from Eric Nzivo. He just sent it to me just before class. This will be shared. Okay. Kuna watu wanaendelea huko kwa chat. I thought it was for my message. This notebook, there are two libraries, Get All Tweets and Tweepy. You install it. You don't have to install it from Jupyter Notebook. You can install it from Anaconda. I know there are guys with basic machine learning concepts. Like I said, this is straight to the point where we identify a project and we write code, yeah? But there are some fundamental concepts that you might get lost. Please, please, please do not keep quiet. We are 17 of guys who confirmed this participation. Reach out to any one of us. If you don't know who is in that class, reach out to me at least. I'll point you to the right direction on who can assist you, or even better yet, I could be able to assist you. So, ukinyamaza peke yako niwe utaumia. Usinyamaze kabisa kabisa. So it might be advanced, but like I said, be stubborn. We are 17. We cannot and we will not leave any one of us behind. We will move as a team. Hakuna haraka hapa. Haraka tu ni we build a smart chatbot. Okay. So cell number 2 is where we import libraries. Yeah. all the libraries, most of them are not needed, I think, for scrapping, like these ones. I think, Eric, you must have been doing some other classification problem on this notebook. All right, and then that is
There
where
was a
you.
bit of analysis.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is where you store your keys and get authentication. You define, Twitter has restrictions. So from this data, when I ran it, we were only able to get 3,500. And when I went to Twitter, I went to twitter.com. The idea came to me when I went to twitter.com, and I checked out on the most trending tweets. I just checked on trending tweets. At that time, I found there is EcoKazi KE. That's when the idea came. What if we did this? It would be nice to help guys look for jobs and while at the same time articulating our technical skills. I had no idea of what else to do. Previously, I had thought of building us guys building a bot for KPLC queries or any company that is very active in Twitter. But like I said, working with company data, unless you don't have the answers, if you provide a different answer, then we are not so sure how the company will take it. And we don't want to put ourselves in that. It could work against us considering we are students. So Twitter job hunting is a low-hanging fruit. Okay. So that is the hashtag I put here. And I was hoping to get 20,000. I did not get 20,000. It gave me 3,500. This is good to start. So I don't know if someone else ran the same, if it will pull the same handles, or if it will pull different ones. It would be interesting if everyone tried this, and then we consolidate. If we are 18 times 3,500, we get a substantial amount of data. But if it is pulling the same from the beginning or based on dates, I don't know, maybe that will not work. Unless we customize ways of filtering by dates. Okay, so this is the tweets that were listed. You can see, hello everyone, work opportunity. Yeah, the full list. There are ways of expanding so that you see the entire data from pandas. We will definitely learn all this. We will learn how to clean the data. There is a pipeline on in the workflow I had mentioned about using GenSim to do topic modeling for the various topics. There is here the Digital Art Fellowship, and this is going to be just open. We look at the data. I think I need to share this 3,500 data set. And besides scrapping your own data or even scrapping the same data as the assignment, each one of us needs to come up with suggestions of the various topics we can classify these tweets. So our first classification problem, as we work towards building a retrieval-based chatbot, will be to do a classification problem using the various methods, bag of words, TF-IDF, word2vec, neural nets. Okay. So those two things. So we explore the notebook. The notebook is going to be made available. I haven't run other cells. I ran out of time, so I don't know what these other cells are doing. And then also let me share with you guys one from the one I got from, what is it called? I think one of the links that I shared. This also has a restriction. It has a restriction. This one has a restriction of 200 tweets. 200 tweets. I could not generate more than 200 tweets. You see this. So the other one is much better. So I'll share all the notebooks, I'll share the notebooks together with the repo for Eric Nzivo, Duncan Oluma, and Brian Che. From the repos you'll get. And if you get stuck, the first people to reach out to are those 3 people. That is their code. They will definitely help you out on where you're stuck. You can post it on WhatsApp group so that everyone else benefits from the answer that they give. Yeah, and that is the intro for today. You guys made me talk the entire time, so I'll sit back and just listen to what you guys have to say. Any questions? Suggestions?
I have a question.
Yes, Sharon.
You said that we'll be working together. And how will we be working together? Like, are we, because it's one project, so are we going to be divided into groups? And then, as in, I'm just trying to understand how we'll work together on this one project.
One project. So there are two options I had mentioned. We can either use one project where we learn through class. We learn the theory through class, and we write code through class, like now today. So apart from today, every other class is going to be writing code and illustrating specific concepts. And then you individually, like for Makrin and Uluma, if there is a company they have in mind, for instance, they could team up and follow through. As they follow through the class project, they could team up and implement a company FAQ. So at the end of the period, we not only have 2 chatbots, one for job hunting and another one for company FAQ. Not only one, but we have 2, company FAQ and job hunting. Now, with regards to how we work, the most obvious one is via Zoom and live coding and the discussion. Not so sure if 2 hours would be enough for that. But we could. I would like to hear the thoughts of people. What do you guys think about the approach we should take? Anyone with an idea? Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
I was saying, I think I've gotten you. I will just be doing via Zoom, like live class. Yeah.
All right. Anyone with an idea of how else we could run these sessions? Should we do group work? Should we stick to one? Let's say like around 3 guys. We still have like 10 or 15 minutes before we call it a day. Silas?
I think Zoom, but although I attended this class, there's a project that I'm also trying to handle, which is different. Yeah, so.
Okay. Ken, would you like to contribute?
Yeah, I think the approach that you've proposed is okay.
Okay. All right. This is going to be really intense. I must tell you guys, and it requires some crazy sacrifice on each one of us. But I know it's doable. The most important thing is we need to be careful not to deliver something we don't understand. It will be a waste. it will be a waste. So as we move, every single concept, try as much as you can to grasp as much as you can, because who knows? At the end of the period, you might just be the luckiest one amongst all of us who gets spotted and ask the question, okay, I can see you guys did this. How did you approach it? So if you're asked that question, the rest of us might not know. It is now you and your prospective employer. So if you completed it and you really don't grasp it, you know that is an opportunity lost, not only for you, but for the entire group. Yeah. So within our restricted time, we need to be fast in identifying what doesn't work and correcting it. So if we find that that 2-hour session is too small, do not hesitate to bring it out, and we figure out what will actually work to our benefit. Other options we could work on is every facilitator to come ready with code that they walk through, and the same code has comments and guidelines, and that code is shared with participants, and participants have a week to probe the code, ask questions, and engage that discussion in WhatsApp group. So I can create an exclusive NLP WhatsApp group so that the other group is not clogged. So we all know what we are covering this week. So for instance, this week is scrapping and manipulating data. So this week, the discussion in that group is just going to be scrapping and manipulating data, nothing else. If we remain quiet for an entire week, that is up to us. So those are some of the avenues we are going to use to make sure that at the end of the period, we not only deliver a chatbot, but we can actually explain what has been going on at an individual level. You know, group at times has a way of taking away individual capabilities. That when you're without that group, you're completely exposed. You cannot even attend an interview by yourself. So it would be sad for something like that to happen to any one of us. All right. Brian, karibu sana. What do you have to say?
Hi guys. So I think from what Ayub has said, the approach is pretty clear. If we can work together as a group and probably have the code beforehand, for instance, like we know this week or the next week on Wednesday, the topic will be scrapping data from Twitter. So we should have like a target on when the code, or at least the first version of the code should be ready, then shared to the group, then so that people can be familiar with it. Because I think if we do like a live coding session whereby you're typing code as people are following, that will take a long time. So if people have the code beforehand and it's just like a walkthrough, like this line does this class does this, or this function does this, so that if someone has a question from when they were going through the code, they can raise it during that time when you're going through the code together as a group, and that will probably help us move faster and learn more.
Awesome. Okay. I think today's session, that is pretty much it. The next one that is coming through is cleaning and visualization. It will be facilitated by Lillian and myself. So we will try and make that available early enough, so that during the session we are going through the same code, and then after the session, for the period, you are asking questions. So it's after that. But don't be, like I said, don't be someone who copy pastes code and cannot explain anything out of it. It will be a waste. As usual, this session is recorded and the people in the meeting will have access to it for reviewing and following through. And I'll create a WhatsApp group and add each one of us, and we move on. Unajua mimi ni prefect. Ukinyamaza sana 3 days bila kuongea, I'll spot you. All right, I think that's it. That's it from me, unless anyone has anything to say. We can call it an evening.
Just a quick question, Ayub.
Yes, Eunice.
So what have we decided? Are we going ahead with the data, the 3001, or which data?
Yes, I think what we can do with regards to that, please don't forget the 2 other assignments. With regards to that, if you can be able to use those Jupyter Notebook and scrap the data for EcoKazi KE, yeah, we will merge all those. So we are 16. We will merge those 3,500 times 16, and then part of data cleaning is removing duplicates. And then we will eventually find out how much data we have. So I think since everyone will have access to the notebook, run those notebook, run the notebook and generate your own 3,500. And by Monday, send that 3,500 to me. I will consolidate and we start data cleaning on Wednesday in the next class.
All right, thanks.
All right. Any other question? Oh, a reminder of the assignment. Assignment number 1 is scrapping the data. Yeah. Assignment number 2, forwarding. Just a minute. I think number 1 was scrapping, and you need to forward it by Monday. Is there something else? There's something else I'd mentioned. Anyone who can remind me? Someone asked about the assignment. Okay, let's take it as scrapping the data. And you submit the 3,500 on, submit the 3,500. Yeah, here. On the slide, there is assignment, use Twitter Scrapper to scrap required text.
I have a question.
Yes?
Are we scrapping any tweet, or there's a specific word we need to look for in the tweet?
Oh, we are scrapping EcoKazi KE. But you're bringing up an important point. You could scrap any tweet and then from that we filter EcoKazi, or we could do a combination because we want to learn data cleaning. What did you have in mind, David? Sorry?
I was thinking.
Yeah.
Because what I know, how some people scrap data on Twitter, they use a specific keyword to get the kind of tweet they want, instead of filtering after getting all the tweets.
Yeah, so we could use hashtag EcoKaziKE. There is that hashtag. That is the particular one that we're interested in. Does it make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So yeah, sending, I had not given the email to send. Send it to robert.ayub@gmail.com. I'll post it on chat. So guys, please don't forget that. And the deadline is Monday. So for that, okay.
Yes.
Is there any other? If there is no other,
Excuse, I
yes,
also have a
yes,
question.
yes, Stephanie.
We're just going to scrap the text, not the other objects like retweets, such kind of things. The favorite count, maybe if we want to analyze how many people have viewed it, should we also look at all those other user objects?
Okay, that actually reminded me of the second assignment. I think we won't restrict. I don't think we should restrict the number of columns anyone wishes to add, because that would also form, when I'm consolidating this, it will also form part of data cleaning, what we need to do with handling null values. So I would, the second assignment was, in your own thinking, how do you want to classify? So if you want to look at, or how do you want to visualize retweets, which is the twist with the highest retweets? Looking at the highest conversation, a tweet that has a high trail. So I would leave it open. Stephanie. You could extract as many columns as you feel necessary. And then in the discussion for data pre-processing, you can actually contribute to now, this is what I thought, and this is the kind of visual I would like to see, and this is how I feel we should handle it. So for as long as the column is there, you are free to add it. We will do data cleaning and pick what we need and move forward as a class. And in the process, we will learn what is important and what, a lot of insights will come out. Stephanie, does that make sense?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Any other? Okay, I think that's it. Thank you guys very much for day one. I hope on the last day we will still be 16, energetic and very optimistic and happy. So let's do this. May you all have a lovely evening. Looking forward to further conversation on WhatsApp group once I create it. And I also look forward to your submissions by Monday. See you guys.
Thank you, Ayub.
Karibu sana.
Thank you. Bye.
Asante.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Goodbye.